It's time for Game On Hockey with Travis Dunn and Scott Taylor.
Near side, Reese Gaber shoots, scores!
Talking all things from the blue line to the red line.
A breakaway for Kaprizov. He's in. He shoots, he scores!
And beyond.
Yeah, sure, old-time hockey. Like Eddie Shore. Yeah.
Now here are your hosts, Travis Dunn and Scott Taylor.
Go right ahead and take on Mr. Mark Chipman. Thank you very much for joining us, Mark, the CEO of True North Entertainment. Well, we got a lot of good news recently, Mark. The border is an easier place to get across, so fans of the Winnipeg Jets and the National Hockey League can get to Winnipeg after, well, it's been a challenging 2.5 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that, the business of professional hockey is not optimal during a global pandemic. It's been a very, very difficult couple of years for the whole industry. We were no exception. And so we feel like it's behind us, Travis, and we can get back to, the type of energy that we enjoyed before that. We got that call on whatever it was, March 12th, a couple of years ago.
I want to ask you what your first thought was when you got that call. But before that, I want to start with some good news. I went to the States last week. It was easy to get down, even easier to come back. Fans down there who are hockey fans now have an opportunity to come up and see the Winnipeg Jets play because there is no more excuse at the border. It's the same as it was before you got that call on March 12th, 2020.
Well, I'm glad to hear that for a number of reasons. We've got family in North Dakota, and we're in fact, I've got some here right now, and so we travel back and forth lots, and it's been really challenging not being able to do that over the past couple of years. So I'm thrilled to hear that it's open again, and hopefully, those who want to see some NHL hockey can take advantage of that and come and catch a game.
There's a lot of people who may not know this, but you used to catch footballs at the University of North Dakota. How would you like to be playing football today?
Well, I would say I caught a lot of balls in practice, for starters. I had an underwhelming career at the University of North Dakota, but it was probably the best decision I ever made. In fact, it was, because for no other reason, that's where I met my wife. But I can't imagine, I had the privilege of being on the field with them a couple of years ago as an honorary captain. And wow, like I just couldn't get over how big and fast that game is played now. As we were saying a moment ago, to be able to play Nebraska was inconceivable when I was there. And so that's a great program that they've developed, and what they've done down at SU is just been remarkable. So I'm really, really happy that they're playing each other again, because to be a part of that game and be a part of that experience is just like nothing else I've ever experienced. And it was unfortunate that there was a break, but I'm really glad those two fine schools are playing each other again.
Well, when you talk about size and strength, you're looking at the NHL season about to begin its regular season. Updates on the Winnipeg Jets, its lineup, its new coach, Rick Bowness, the different energy that he has brought to this to your team.
Well, you know what, Travis, the lineup isn't very different. And I think that's a good thing, because, we think we've got a good team here, and, we're actually picking this lineup last year to maybe make the full run. And I think that was because we had, 4 years in a row, been a playoff team and been on the cusp a couple of those years. And so I think Kevin Cheveldayoff and his crew have done a really good job over the past 11 years of building this team. We absolutely, lost our way last year and for any number of reasons, but I think the core of this team is still very strong and very committed to one another. And Rick's just brought a different style of play and that I think people will notice, and I'm excited about that. And he's brought, he's just brought I don't think the man's ever had a bad day. Like, he just brings such a positive perspective to everything, and it's infectious. And and we're very fortunate, I think, to have him. He's got so many years of experience and knows how to relate to players. So I'm optimistic, that we need to get off to a good start, but I think we're going to be fine.
I've had plenty of opportunity to talk to Rick since he came to town, and we go back 30 odd years. You're right when there's nobody more optimistic than Rick Bowness is. He told me a little story that he and his wife were having a nice evening together in Halifax and reminiscing and talking about what a great run it had been being a head coach in the National Hockey League. And they went to bed, and the next morning the phone rings, and Kevin Cheveldayoff is asking him to come to Winnipeg. Tell us that story about why you decided on Rick Bowness. What's the story around that? Because I'm telling people that it was the best hire you could have made.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way, Scott. I agree. I mean, we'd had the same coach in Paul Maurice for better part of 8 seasons, and he had taken us from being a non-playoff team to a consistent playoff team. So there was a deep respect for what he had done. His sudden departure last year, I'm going to say, what kind of caught us off guard, and I just don't think we were able to respond to it as an organization as well as we would have liked to have. So I guess the point is, I think Kevin wanted to make sure that he really took his time in finding the replacement, and he did that. He interviewed a lot of very good candidates. I think, including Scott Arneal, who ended up being our associate coach, who I'm told interviewed very, very well. But I think maybe, there were a lot of things that were really appealing about Rick. It was interesting that, when they asked him who he was thinking about for staff, he first name he mentioned was Scott, and conversely, when they asked Scott that question, the first name he mentioned was Rick. Like, they go back and have a lot of respect for one another, and they bring different elements to our group. And Scott's matured as a coach. He coached for us years ago, and he's a real solid, bona fide NHL coach. And I think the two of them together was really appealing. That we knew we had two really solid candidates, and the two of them together just seemed to make a lot of sense. I think Rick's experience and his, it was really appealing. I think, not to get too technical, but I think, Rick's style of play is going to be more defensive oriented. It's going to be it's not going to be boring. It activates our defense, but it's really a defense first mentality. And Scott, you watch us enough. We got enough offense on this team. We really do. I think we match up pretty much with anybody offensively in our top 6 and now our top 9, arguably. And so I think if Rick can bring that structure that he's known for, that defensive structure to us, and we can maintain our offensive output, we should find ourselves back in the playoffs.
Well, I think we saw that the other. Sorry, Travis. I think we saw that the other night when there was a defense first element in that game against Calgary. And yeah, I get it. It was a preseason game, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is Calgary brought a pretty good hockey team to Winnipeg. That wasn't a minor league team. The Jets had a pretty good team on the ice without Dubois and Wheeler. They played nose to nose for the whole game. And in the end, it was 5-0. And it was 5-0 because Ehlers and Scheifele and Connor controlled the offensive movement of the puck, and defensively, the guys who are supposed to be good, Morrissey and Pionk, were very, very good. I think that's the kind of game that fans grew to love 2 years ago and are expecting back this year.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think I was really pleased to see how well our new backup goaltender played. I thought Riddick was really, really solid, made the saves when he needed to. I mean, Calgary has a good club. That's a good team, and they're a playoff team for good reason. I liked our penalty kill. I thought we won we won the special team battle, right? We scored twice on the power play, and I thought our kill was really good. We didn't give up any, and there, that's what Arnie brings to the table. He's ran the PK in Washington the past few years, and it's been amongst the best in the league. And so, when you watch the game enough, you can see those details. And it was evident to me the other night, albeit an exhibition game, our PK was really good and our power play was really good.
That's the voice of Mark Chipman, CEO of True North Entertainment, the owners of the Winnipeg Jets. And we are broadcasting from the Ralph Engelstad Arena press box, or what I call the Nillis Law Firm press box. And Scott is in Studio North in Winnipeg, along with, Mark's somewhere located in Winnipeg at this point. But this is Game on Hockey, 104.7 in the mighty 790 KFGO. Just for a little ambiance here, I turn my camera. There's Tim Hennessy. He's getting ready to make the call his 500th season of doing UND Fighting Hawks hockey, but he's been doing it for a long time. Mark, there's more than just the Winnipeg Jets opportunities for people to come up to Winnipeg and watch hockey. Of course, there's the Manitoba Moose, which is an important part of that development process of players as well. Talk about the Jordan Kawaguchis of the world from UND that come up and play, and a regular lineup of UND players from all over the American Hockey League that show up in Winnipeg. Talk about your Moose product and then ticket availabilities as well, and how do people find out more and potentially head north to Winnipeg to watch the Moose play?
The Moose are a vital component of what we do. And, I think that's the case for most NHL teams. Like, you can't, you don't build teams through free agency anymore. I don't think you can point to an example of that. You look at all those, that team that won the Stanley Cup last year, those kids were all drafted by Joe Sakic. It's a draft and develop league. You can spot in with some free agency from time to time, but you can't build your team that way. And we can't, we wouldn't be able to compete. We're the smallest market in the league, so that doesn't make any sense. So the Moose are a really important part of our whole, our whole structure. And you try and strike a balance every year between development and winning. I've always held that winning helps development. We were a farm team for the Vancouver Canucks for 10 years. And, we would augment that team with veteran players because we thought it was better for their younger players to be winning. And so, now that we are our own farm team, we take a slightly different view of that. There's probably more of a premium on seeing young players develop and getting the ice time in those key situations to become NHL players. But we had a really good team last year in the American League, and it'll be every bit as good this year. We've had lots of UND kids come through that program and had important roles on our team over the past few years, and so it'll be good. I don't miss those games, honestly. I find them, to me, often, every bit as much fun to watch. Maybe not quite as skilled, but the energy level almost makes up for that, on some nights. So, yeah, we got our Travis. Got our ticket group together, and they've put a plan on our website. It's sort of a welcome back to Canada for those who are interested. They've got some pricing for some folks down there if they want to come up and watch a game. I think there's a just like $149 Canadian, which is about, I don't know, $30 US right now. Last time I looked,
$1.41, my friend.
Yeah, it stings. That stings. But we would. We would love to see some folks come up to either. You just go on our website, the Jets or Moose website, and you'll see those offers. And we're fortunate. We got, we really do have a good number and growing number of fans in North Dakota, which we're very proud of. So we would love to see more of them up here soon.
Fire away, Scott.
Oh, thanks, Travis. We're still on. I thought we were having a break.
Oh, wait, look, yeah. One more question. We'll take a break.
I'm not paying enough attention. Well, we're talking about North Dakota fans. We're talking about people coming up from Minnesota, North Dakota to watch the Jets and the Moose. There is another component of True North Sports and Entertainment, which is the entertainment end. And there are a lot of things going on in your building that aren't hockey. John Mulaney's coming up. Can't wait. Tell people more about what they can expect if they look on your website to look for entertainment.
Well, I mean, if you can get here by 8 o'clock, you can see Michael Bublé. That's why
I don't think there's any tickets left, are there?
That's why my sister-in-law from Bismarck is here. Yeah, you know, the concert industry is coming back. We've had some good shows. We just had a great Eagles show a couple of weeks ago, and so those shows are starting to come online. You know, that's the nice thing about this market. We've always been able to attract those premium shows, and Kevin Donnelly, who does that for us, been with us since the beginning and does a wonderful job. So yeah, I mean, you can keep your eye on the True North website. There's, you know, if it's touring, if it's a North American tour, it's pretty much coming through here. So yeah, again, and we do get lots of folks from northern Minnesota and North Dakota coming up to those shows that may not play at the Ralph or may not play at the Alaris, or, you know, maybe people want to drive all the way to Mini. You know, I got a really close friend in well, you would know Izzy Marvin, Travis and Warroad, and they come up lots, and their friends come up, and so yeah, I mean, lots going on and lots more to come. I think things are coming back online.
Well, you're welcome anytime to join us on a show. Give us a heads up on what's going on in the world. We're happy to promote the Winnipeg Jets, the Manitoba Moose, and True North. Mark, really a pleasure having you join us today. And